Hello everyone, welcome to the e-lecture series by LJ Institute of Pharmacy, that is Pharma Ignite. I'm Dr. Jignesh Shah, working as professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Quality Assurance at LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Dear students, in today's class we will continue with the chapter that is UV visible spectroscopy. In the last class, we have started with the EMR spectrum, where we have gone with different types of radiations which are involved with electromagnetic spectrum. We have also studied the wavelength and the wave number, which was pertaining to various different radiations, which belongs to the EMR spectrum. In today's class, we will continue with the types of spectroscopy and the theory of spectroscopy. Now, spectroscopic studies are mainly classified into two types, depending upon the mechanism of their interaction with the radiation. That is the absorption spectroscopy and emission spectroscopy. First, we'll discuss about absorption spectroscopy. Now, as the name indicates that this particular spectroscopy, it deals with the absorption of the radiation by the sample. Now, as students of you know that every molecule is associated with different kind of bonds and it has different functional groups associated with it. Now, when an electromagnetic radiation is allowed to come in contact with a substance, then a particular characteristic of the radiations, they are being absorbed by the substance if the frequency of the radiation it matches with the frequency or the energy of the bond that particular substance possess. Basically, a substance may have either sigma bond, pi bond, or it may have n electrons, that is the lone pair of electrons which are not associated with the bond formation. Now, if the imparted radiation frequency matches with the energy of the bond of that particular molecule, in that condition, the radiation will be absorbed by a particular substance. So, a particular frequency of the radiation will be absorbed from the entire spectrum of radiations, and the remaining radiation which has not been absorbed, it is transmitted. So, either we determine the amount of the radiation which has been absorbed by determining the absorption spectra, or on the other case we can also determine the amount of the radiation which has been transmitted, that is the radiation which has not been absorbed. So by analyzing any of the above particular characteristic, that is either the absorbed radiation or the transmitted radiation, we can determine that what is the basic functional group or what is the basic type of bond present in the molecule. Now, chromophore and auxochrome, they play a very important role in case of absorption spectroscopy. Chromophore are all those functional groups which are necessary for the absorption of the radiation, that is, they have been imparting color to the molecule, whereas auxochromes are all those functional groups which themselves do not play a role in the characteristic absorption of the radiation, but when they are present along with the chromophore, they reduces the intensity of the radiation which is to be absorbed by the molecule. Hence, both chromophore and auxochrome, they play a very important role in absorption spectroscopy. In case of another type of spectroscopy, that is emission spectroscopy, the sample which needs to be analyzed, they are in the vapor phase. When a sample is present in the vapor phase, it is allowed to come in contact with the radiations, and as soon as the radiation energy comes in contact with the sample, thermal or electrical excitation of the electrons which are present in the compound, it takes place. Now, when the electron undergoes excitation, these electrons, they move from the ground state to the metastable state. As a result, they are associated with high amount of the energy in the metastable state. Now, in the metastable state, the electrons, they are unstable because they are associated with high amount of energy. As a result, they will descend back to the ground state, and during the descending back to the ground state, or during the descending process to the ground state, the electrons will lose the energy, and the energy which has been lost, it is in the form of emission of the radiation, and this emitted amount of the radiation is absorbed. As different molecules are associated with different bond energies, the excitation energy and the emission energy would be different with respect to different kind of molecules. As a result, this is also one characteristic analyzing process for a molecule in vapor phase by emission spectroscopic technique. So basically these are the two major type of techniques which are involved in spectroscopy, that is absorption spectroscopy and emission spectroscopy. Now moving towards the another topic, that is the theory or principle which is involved in UV visible spectroscopy. Now UV visible spectroscopy, it is also known as electronic spectroscopy because basically it is associated with the transmission of the energy to the electrons. Now as all of us know that in a particular molecule, three different types of electrons they are basically found. One is the sigma electrons, the second one is pi electrons, and the third one is n electrons. Sigma electrons are all those electrons which are associated with single bond, that is covalent bond, which is formed by sharing of the electrons. Pi electrons, they are basically associated with the overlapping of the p orbitals, and they are associated with double bonds and triple bonds. Also they are found in case of conjugated compounds, whereas in case of n electrons they are associated with lone pair. They are lone pair of electrons and they are not associated with bond formation. They are the free electrons. As a result, they have a very less amount of energy associated with them. Now whenever a radiation energy is imparted to the molecule, that radiation energy, it comes in contact with a different kind of electrons which are present in the molecule. As a result, it has an ability to undergo the excitation of the electrons. Now due to the absorption of the energy by a particular molecule, transition of the electrons will take place from ground state to the higher energy level. Now, this transition of the electrons from ground state to higher energy level requires energy, which is absorbed from the EMR. Now, every molecule, it is associated with some quantum of energy or frequency. And this depends upon what? It is depending upon the bond which is present in that particular molecule and the free electrons which are present in the outermost orbital. So, different molecules, they have different quantum of energy. This quantum of energy or frequency of every molecule is different, and it is one of the characteristic feature of every molecule. When such kind of molecule it comes in contact with the radiation, and if the quantum of energy of the radiation and the quantum of energy of the molecule, if they coincide with each other, then the absorption of the radiation will take place. If this quantum of energy it does not matches, in that case the absorption of the radiation will not take place. The radiations of the EMR, they are also associated with definite energy, and when these radiations are imparted to the molecule and when both the energy coincides with each other, this mechanism of the absorption will take place. As a result, we will get an absorption spectrum. Every molecule has a characteristic absorption spectra, and this is also considered as a fingerprint for a particular molecule, on the basis of which qualitative and quantitative analysis of the compound can take place. As a result, we can say that both qualitative and quantitative analysis can be performed by UV visible spectroscopy on the basis of different kind of absorption spectra which are obtained for a particular molecule. Now, as we have discussed about the absorption of energy by the electrons which are present in the molecule, the next topic which comes into our mind, it is what are the different types of electronic transitions that takes place. The transition of the electron is basically the excitation of the electron from ground state to the higher energy level. Now this absorption of the radiation, it leads to excitation of the electrons, and due to excitation of the electrons, these electrons will move from ground state to a higher energy level which is known as metastable state. On this basis, there are four different types of electronic transitions which are commonly found. The first type of transition, it is sigma to sigma star transition. Now sigma to sigma star transition, it is considered as one of the highest energy associated transition. Now an electron which is present in the bonding orbital of the s or bonding s orbital, it gets excited to the corresponding antibonding orbital by absorption of the energy. And this is mainly observed in case of saturated compounds, that is compounds which are associated with single bonds. As I have told earlier, that it is associated with the saturated compounds, very high amount of energy is required for the transition of such kind of electrons, because high energy is needed to break the bond and to excite the electrons from ground state to the higher energy level. Example is methane. In case of methane, we can see that it undergoes sigma to sigma star transition, and the absorption spectra and the absorption maxima of methane, it is found around 150 nanometer. The second type of transition, it is the N to sigma star transition. Here in this particular case, N electrons are involved in this particular transition. That is the electrons which are not involved with the bond formation. It is mainly seen in case of saturated compounds which are containing lone pair of electrons, that is compounds which are containing oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and halogen atoms which have non-bonding electrons in them, and they are capable to show N to sigma star transitions. These transitions, they are associated with less amount of energy as compared to sigma to sigma star transition, and the absorption maxima in case of this kind of transition, it is obtained in the range of 150 to 250 nanometer. The third type of transition which we can see, it is pi to pi star transition. Now pi electrons in a bonding orbital, it gets excited to the pi star anti-bonding orbital after the absorption of the radiation, and it is mainly observed in case of conjugated compounds as well as the compounds in which pi bonds are observed, that is compounds which have double bonds or triple bonds. Now compounds with multiple bonds such as alkenes, alkynes, carbonyls, nitriles, aromatic compounds, they all show pi to pi star transition. The energy associated with pi to pi star transition, it is less as compared to N to sigma star transition, and it is mainly seen in case of the conjugated compounds. An example is alkene, which absorbs or which have an absorption maxima in the region around 210 to 260 nanometer. Now going through the last kind of transition, that is N to sigma star transition. As the name indicates, it is associated with the N electrons. Once again, those electrons which are not involved in the bond formation, the electron from non-bonding orbital, it gets promoted to anti-bonding pi star orbital, and it requires the lowest amount of energy among all the transitions. Compounds which are containing double bonds involving a heteroatom, such as in case of ketone, or in case of nitrile, or in case of N double bond O. In such kind of compounds containing such functional groups, they undergo N to pi star transition, and the lambda max or the maximum absorption in such kind of transition, it is found around 300 nanometer. So students, in the next class, we will continue with the laws which are governing the absorption of the radiation, that is Beer's and Lambert's law, which forms the fundamental basis about the absorption of the radiation. I hope that you have liked the video, and please do not forget to subscribe our channel, that is Pharma Ignite. Thank you very much.